Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's webinar. It's so exciting to have you here. Please say hi as you're dropping in. We've got loads of people dropping into the call as we're speaking. Hi, Joe. Yep, wonderful to have you here. And Steve, Natalie, Cassandra, brilliant. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Well, welcome to tonight's webinar. As I said, very excited to have you here. Been bubbling with excitement all day and all week, really. Um, we've got some new jewels to share from last week. Always looking to educate. It's for me, it is about learning, implementing, and teaching. So I love sharing the new things that I learn with you all. And then I get really excited when I find out that you have learned and you're implementing and you're teaching. So love hearing the feedback that you guys give me after the webinars that we have together. So fantastic. Awesome. We've got more people dropping in. It's going to be a busy one tonight, everybody. So thanks so much for joining me on this Thursday evening. So thank you. Thank you. I do know quite a lot of people that are on the call. As always, there are some new names and faces as well that come on each and every week. So I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to tonight's call. For those of you that I do know, you recognise my voice. Yes, I am English, and I have lived here on and off for 15 years, and it is an accent that we can't quite get rid of. I have been told I should try and keep it. So we'll leave it at that, shall we? For those of you that I don't know, my name is Nicola. And as I said, it's wonderful to be here with you tonight. I want to thank you for taking the time out of your days and your evenings to be here with me, either after you've had dinner or before you're having dinner. So tonight we are here to talk about and to discuss the first 3 secrets to becoming a world-class public speaker. The reason why it's the first 3 secrets is because we've got a limited time tonight. So I'd love to share with you a lot more. But, as I said, 45 minutes to an hour together. So hopefully the first 3 will keep you bubbling, and I'm sure they will because they got me bubbling anyway. So before I continue, I just want to give you a little bit of background on who we are. Professional presentation. We have a mission, which I believe everyone should have, but we have a mission to help business owners and employees find, develop, and embrace their voice in their business and career, which means you are opening doors you either thought were closed or didn't even know were there. I believe everybody has a voice which needs to be heard. That's my message. And why? Because there is always someone out there that wants to hear and connect with your message. You have an audience out there. When I say an audience, that could be, your client base, that could be your team, that could be your potential clients, it could be your friends. But there are people out there waiting to connect with your message, and they're waiting to hear what you have to say. So it's so important for you to be able to language what it is that you need and want to say, so those people can then connect with you. So that is what we're here. That is why we are here tonight, everybody. Cool. How does that sound? Awesome. Hell yeses. Love it. Okay, great, guys. So who on this? I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. So just type in the chat box because I'm getting lots of yeses and so forth. So that's wonderful. Look, I really love to hear from some people and hear what your message is and the reason why you're here on this webinar tonight. Cool. Steve, finding your voice. Yeah. Cassandra, getting over my fear, gaining confidence. Yeah, I hear you. I really, really do. Because, I'll be honest with you, I was there at one point, and, it's can be a very, I guess, nerve-wracking place to be at times. You feel vulnerable getting up there and speaking in front of people, in front of your audience, and it can be from as little as 1 or 2 up to hundreds or thousands. If I was to tell you that 96% of the population had a fear of public speaking, what would you say? How does that percentage sit with you? Massive, yeah. Absolutely. I was staggered when I first heard that. And the fact that the fear of public speaking is the biggest fear of all. It's actually even bigger than death itself, believe it or not. So for me, it's really important to be able to assist and guide you to get up there and to be able to speak, because it's about opening doors in your career and business, either doors that you thought were closed or ones that you didn't even know were there. It's about, for me, you being able to step up and have the confidence to know that you can be the best that you can be and speak with the confidence and volition that you need and want to take the next leap and jump and bound in your career and in your business, to be able to then provide for yourself, your family, and have the lifestyle that you want. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, how does that sound? Yeah, wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. So, the next slide you're going to see is the webinar navigation slide. So, that will be the page that you have in front of you on your computer. Now, I don't know if there is anybody that is new to using a webinar. Is this anyone's first time? Because please, just if it is, there should be a little chat box in there down below. And just type in there that it is your first time, because we love first timers. I love learning. I'm a first timer all the time. So this is a safe place to be if this is your first time. Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Sharon, first time. Okay, excellent, great. Yeah, Paul, beautiful, and Adam. Okay, so we've got a few first timers. That's wonderful. I'm so excited that you can have your first webinar tonight. A webinar. I'll just give you a little bit of de-jargon and definition on a webinar. So this is where we are on the internet and we're live. I do have everyone on mute because there are so many people on the call that there'd be interference if we had you all off mute. So I am the only person that you can hear. For you to interact with me and I can interact with you, you can chat to me in the chat box. So I'll be asking questions throughout. And what makes for a really interactive webinar are you. It's great for me to know that I'm not speaking to myself. So please chat in the chat box, ask questions, comments, etc., because it's all about a learning, and that's what makes each webinar unique and different. Is all of you wonderful, beautiful people, and you just getting involved and having fun. So yeah, cool. Thumbs up all round, beautiful. So let's get cracking, shall we? Oh, I'm getting a little bit excited and ahead of myself and happy clicking. So the keys to public speaking success. Look, for me the question is, why would you want to be successful at public speaking? And that's my question to you. Why would you want to be successful at public speaking? Yep, just chat away in the chat box. I really want to hear from you. Cool. Natalie, expanding your business. Adam, representing your business and company. Yep, absolutely. Emily, networking, running team meetings. Yeah, wonderful. Tony, presenting in front of an audience. Alex, client meetings, new business, events and conferences. Yes, excellent. All of those reasons. Thank you guys. I really, really appreciate your input. Wonderful. Look, the key is being connected to your why and keeping it, I believe, burning bright. Because when you are in the face of challenges, and believe me, and I'm sure most of you will know, in career and business and in life in general, we come across challenges, right? Yeah. So keeping connected to why you are speaking and why you are getting up in front of your audience is going to keep you pursuing in the face of the challenge. It's going to keep you grounded and remind you of why you were doing this in the first place. So for me, speaking in front of an audience, and again, guys, when I say audience, I mean in front of one or two people, as many as 100 or thousands, and it can be in front of a team, in front of clients, in front of your colleagues. So that's my definition of an audience, and just take that as our mantra for the rest of the webinar. So when I say audience, that's what we're talking about. Is that cool? Okay, wonderful. So for me, it's about adding value to my room, ensuring that I'm serving my audience all of the time, which means coming from a servant's heart. A lot of presenters can come from their heads. They're stuck in their heads. What do I mean by stuck in their heads? It's that voice that you hear. And I like to call it the mini Nick voice. Well, mine's mini Nick. Yours could be mini Paul, mini Adam, but it's that mini me voice that you hear inside of your head that's telling you, that's talking to you while you're speaking. And what do you think happens when that voice is talking to you while you're speaking? You're distracted. Yeah, you're not present for your room, or you're not 100% present for your room. Yeah, absolutely, you're not serving your room. So for you to move from head to heart is so important, and that really needs to happen from the moment you're crossing that threshold into the room, before you even present. How many of you have been in front of someone presenting and speaking to you, and they are either reading from their notes or they're reading from a PowerPoint? Yeah, yeah, me too. Plenty of times. And look, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with a PowerPoint. Obviously, I'm using one now, right? A PowerPoint can be used very, very effectively. It needs to be used, though, not as a crutch. So there's no point having a PowerPoint to read off. It's to have a PowerPoint there to enhance your presentation. So what is the difference then between a PowerPoint note reading presenter and a presenter that can add value to the room and speak, well, as though it's coming spontaneously? It's the experience. It's giving the experience to their room. It really is. It's all about providing an experience and adding value to the room and taking the room wherever it needs to go. So for me, it's about providing an experience. It's like a show at the theatre, the circus, a play, a movie, perhaps. Now, when I say that, I don't mean painting your face or wearing like a big red nose like a clown. No, far from it. For me, it's quite the opposite. It's like you are the king and queen of your Hollywood show. You are the Andrew Lloyd Webber from Broadway. Being a world-class presenter means when you walk through those doors to present to your audience, you are a magnified version of yourself, because that is what your audience want. That is what your audience need. They need you. They need the real you, the one that's burning bright. Your natural energy is so important to have when you're presenting, because if you are putting on a show, then you're going to burn out very, very quickly. So by delving deep into your natural energy and enhancing that for your audience, you will be able to present hour upon hour, day upon day, without feeling exhausted. Now, when we talk about character and we talk about natural energy, that is something that we all have within us. And we can tap into different characters and different energy types. This is a massive learning and a massive conversation and training, to be honest, and one that we don't have time for tonight. But stay tuned, because these are this is a training that I do go to into a lot of detail in our face-to-face, and I do run online trainings for it as well. So if you are interested, you could contact me after the webinar. I'll be happy to chat with you about it. Does that sound cool? Awesome. How are we doing? Yeah? Beautiful. Okay, great, guys. So keep your comments and questions and feedback coming, and I'll address them throughout or at the end, depending on how we go for time. So who recognises this lady? Yeah, Oprah. Oprah Winfrey. I'm pretty sure, that most of us here on the call recognise her, and most of the world recognise her. She is a bloody famous lady. She has done so well for herself, wouldn't you say? Yeah. Would you say she's a presenter? Yeah, absolutely. A public speaker? Yeah. And more to the point, a world-class public speaker. Yeah. So would I. Now, did Oprah start her days in TV as a world-class public speaker? I mean, probably not. So what was that? What was the difference that took Oprah from her days of being a radio presenter to owning her own production company, her own TV show, her own talk show host, pretty sure being the richest female in America? Absolutely phenomenal. And for Oprah, and many Samaritans out there like Oprah, even though, she's got the wealth comes after. It's all about making a difference and adding value to her room and to her audience and to the people that are there wanting to hear her message and are wanting to connect with her and needing to connect with her. Imagine if Oprah didn't do the things that she has done, if she didn't cross that line. And I'm sure through what would have happened? Where would all the people be whose lives she's made a difference in? And this is the message that I want to get across to all of you beautiful people, is that you are Oprah. You are someone that has the message that people need to hear. Once you know that message, live it and breathe it and get it across that line. Because someone will do something because they listen to you speak. Someone will make a difference in someone else's life because of what you said. And that is what so many of Oprah's audiences have done. Absolutely. So, I get very passionate about that, as you can tell. So, would you like me to share with you the top 3 secrets Oprah had and has that has taken her to public speaking stardom? Hell yes. I love your hell yes. It's brilliant. So, okay, Oprah has done well for herself, as we all know. So we are going to go into the secrets, the 3 secrets. So stay tuned, and we will be uncovering those shortly. I want to ask you all, what makes for a world-class public speaker? What you think makes for a world-class public speaker? Confidence? A message? Yeah, wonderful. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your comments, guys. Absolutely. It's a mindset. It's about moving from an apprentice through the ladder, through the model, which I'm going to take you through, to becoming a master. And it's all about repetition. Now, what do we think the benefits are of being a world-class public speaker? Yep, you said it before. An increase of confidence. Saul, reaching more people. Yeah, absolutely. That's great. Matt, making more sales, building credibility. And and as a result, making more money, because at the end of the day, we are in business to make a profit. We are in our careers to take home the bread to feed our family. So that is the silver lining at the end of the day. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. So I'm just going to check in with you. How are we doing? Yeah? Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Keep posting because I'm loving it. So, mindset. Mindset to me is the number one key, the number one secret to the success of a world class public speaker. You know, for me, a mindset is a tool for a public speaker, like how an engineer has a toolbox, and in the toolbox there's a drill, a hammer, perhaps an electric tape. I don't know. Can't say I'm an expert in that area, but you know that they've got tools in their toolbox, right? Like a public speaker's toolbox is the mindset. So having a rusty mindset would not be great, would it? No, not at all. It means that it maybe you've got old tools, it's out of date, old fashioned thinking, closed minded, and this is just not serving you. And when doing this, how can we expect to serve other people and be a world class public speaker? Yeah, no, we can't, can we? Absolutely. So instead, I think and I believe it is important to have the right tools in your toolbox. So, what are these tools? What are these wonderful tools that we need in our toolbox? Well, let me share. The first one is a clear mind. A clear mind equals a world class public speaker. So, when you are speaking in front of your audience, you need to speak with a clear mind because this is your toolkit. You can never leave home without it. And even more than that, this is where you file away the information you need to give. And you need to give everything your audience wants, needs, and deserves from you because that is what they deserve. They deserve everything for you to give them everything. Now, an audience will always give 20% less than what you bring to the table. So, what does that mean? That means if you're bringing 100% commitment to your audience, they're always going to bring 80. So, if you're giving 100, they're going to give 80 back. If you're hell yesing, they might be yesing. So, that is why it's so important to make sure that you are always bringing at least 100% if you believe in the threshold of over 100%, as long as you're not a mathematician. Okay, which I'm clearly not. I can tell you that I need my calculator all of the time now, scarily enough. So, when I need to have a clear mind before I train and speak and present in front of people, I spend the time it takes me to get to the venue focusing on my audience and even more visualizing them and getting really curious about them. Why are they coming here to see me today? What can I give them that is so special that they will know they have received amazing value and really connect with them as a whole before I enter the room? Because when we are speaking, it is about serving them all of the time, serving our audience all of the time. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, absolutely. So the next point is, well, the next key is stories. A world class public speaker has stories to tell, and these tell 1,000 words. Because the reason why is because this makes you real to your audience. It humanizes you. It allows your audience to connect with you in a way that if you were just speaking to them, they would be hearing what you're saying, but are they listening? Are they connecting? Are they believing you? Are they trusting you? Are you, by you telling the story, you are linking your message to your audience. You're supporting your message to your audience, and they will then be captivated with what you have to say if you have got their attention. by telling these stories. And it's important when you are speaking to have these stories, to know that you can pull on these at any time. When I'm presenting, and depending on how long I'm presenting for, I will speak for, I will have maybe 2 to 3 stories on hand at any given time that I can pull on. Because by having these stories prepared, that means that it's kind of like a DVD store or a video store, if we're going to go back to like the 80s and 90s, where you can just pull it out at any time, or like a library. And that story can just insert into your presentation. So, yeah, I truly, truly believe that stories will tell 1,000 words and support what you're saying and really connect you to your audience all of the time. So, yeah. Your audience's goals are also extremely important. So, setting yourself up as a world class public speaker and expert in your field means being able to focus on your goals when presenting and the goals of your audience, because this will mean that everyone in your room is being taken care of. Now, how do you do this? Well, you can do this in your setup when you are speaking. So, find out why your audience are here, what they are looking at getting out of your time together, and how they would like to interact. And then asking them, then checking in with them throughout your presentation to make sure that that their needs are being met. Because by meeting the needs of the people in the room will mean that yours are being met at the same time. For example, I've been constantly asking you throughout this presentation, how are we going? Have you got any questions, comments, and feedback? So that's me checking in to ensure that your needs are being met while we're on the webinar tonight. Does that make sense? Again, it just now becomes innate within me. So beautiful. Awesome. It's also really important, I think, and I believe, to embrace uncertainty as a public speaker. This is what takes a presenter to the next level and really, really sets you aside from the rest. Because being able to embrace the unknown and choose to have the behavioral flexibility to take your audience and room of where they need to go at any given time means you are providing the experience for your audience, which we spoke about earlier. And you're taking them from being in a lecture to an experience, and you can move them at any given time depending on where they need to go. So rather than being rigid and stuck on a certain way of presenting, you can move the room in the direction that you feel it wants, but also where you know it needs to go. Because just because an audience wants something, it doesn't mean that they need it. So that is your job to differentiate between the two. Beautiful. Now, it is also really important for you to champion yourself. So, just like we've spoken about supporting and being present for our audience, so does the same theory apply to ourselves. You need to and have to be backing yourself 100% of all of the time. When you cross that threshold, you need to be believing in yourself. You've got to be telling yourself that you are the world-class public speaker that you know you are, that you know that you need to be to provide your audience with the key learnings that they deserve. Because if you believe it, then they will believe it too, all of the time, every time. Yeah, absolutely. So how are we going? Yeah, beautiful. Loving your comments coming through. Thank you, everyone. Ah, Tim the tool man with his toolbox. Love, I love that little cute pic. I always forget it, but there you go. Popped up at the end. Wonderful. So the model, and where are you on the ladder? So I touched on it briefly, but we'll go into it in a little bit more detail. This is the model of going from apprentice through to master. And this can be applied to any given situation. For now, we're going to be speaking about it in terms of being a world-class public speaker. Now, as an apprentice, you are at the beginning of your game. This is when you first start out. And yeah, it's at the stage where you don't know what you don't know. So kind of you're a little bit blind, and sometimes that's the best way to be. It's because you have no benchmark, you have no idea. Being an apprentice is where you're extremely reliant on those ahead of you in the game. This is where fight or flight can happen. This is where we can move on to the next stage or decide where the stage, no matter how big or small it is not the place for us. Three out of four people actually suffer from speech anxiety and either never make it onto the stage or in front of an audience or limit the number of times they get up there. And I definitely don't want that for you, because the stage can be a wonderful place no matter how big or small your audience is. So what happens as a result of this if you don't make it onto the stage, if you're not speaking in front of your audience? Well, this is where you can be held back in your business and career. This is where your colleagues or business associates can be up there speaking, and they can be taking the opportunities that you so rightly deserve or so rightly want or need, because they're the ones getting out there doing the do and taking the risks that others perhaps aren't. So what we need to do when we're the apprentice, acknowledge yourself for getting up on the stage and speaking in front of others and doing something which a lot of people won't do. You need to be your number one support. Champion yourself on, because the number of learnings which you will take from each time you speak and present will make you even better for the next time and the next time, moving you up the ladder. And as we move up the ladder, we then go through to technician. Now, technician actually is where the majority of the world will sit in this particular model. This is where you are learning the trade and getting better and better with each time. You're much more aware of what you don't know. So it can be somewhat uncomfortable, but a great place to be, because you always want to be learning. Because if you're not learning, you're stagnant. And if you're stagnant, you're stuck. And we don't want to be stuck. So actually learning and being uncomfortable is a great place to be. We just need to reframe it. And what I mean by reframe is think of it in a different light. Shine a new light on it and think of uncomfortable as a learning curve and learning new tools for our trade. So once we've graduated from technician, mastery is next. Now, we'd all like to master a skill, whether it's cooking an unfamiliar dish, maybe learning a new language, or creating a successful business. Mastering a skill helps us grow our character and increase our knowledge and credibility on a subject or in a particular area. So being a master, experts actually say you need 10,000 hours under your belt until you're here. Most people, however, want results as quickly as possible. They want to become the best at something as fast as they can, especially in this day and age in the 21st century, where we expect responses within an hour because of social media. So our patience or response wait times aren't as long as maybe they used to be. So most people, as I said, they want responses as quickly as possible. They want to become the best at something as fast as they can. And, it doesn't always work that way. The good news is it doesn't take rocket science to achieve mastery. Once you have mastery, which is reinforced by your message when presenting on stage, means you will stand out from the crowd. and become the special. Oh, having like a bit of a tongue-tied day today. Become the specialist in your field. And even more than that, when you have your niche, yourself in your market, you have your target audience and people that have a specific need for you and your business, and they know who you are. So getting really, really good at mastery is about finding somebody in your field who's already there and model them. Model them, and what do I mean by modeling? I mean, see what they're doing right now to get to where they need to be. How do they stand? How do they talk? What do they say? What props are they using? How, and how are they presenting? So modeling someone who is already mastering the skill or ahead of the game. And that is how you can fast track your way to mastery to a point. How does that sound? Awesome. Fantastic, guys. Loving you and loving it. Great. So, this is Merlin the Magician. Yeah, I used to watch this cartoon quite a lot when I was a kid. So, to me, you are all Merlin. You are all a wizard on stage, and it begins with you. It really does. So, as I said, mastery is all about modeling the experts in their field. And that is how you are going to become the wizard and the magician on stage, by getting your 10,000 hours, doing the do, and modeling the people that are ahead of you in the game. And having that really good, optimistic, positive attitude. Getting rid of that mini me voice in your head and filling yourself with the positive self talk before you get on stage. Very important. Wonderful. And then the third step is, well, the third secret is repetition, repetition, repetition. Well, now we know we need a great mindset and what a great mindset is and how to achieve it. We know what we need to position ourselves as the experts in our field, which means presenting to our audience, because this is what sets us apart from our competitors and colleagues. And so now it's about repetition. If you ask every successful speaker, athlete, movie star how they got good, really good at what they do, they will tell you it is like riding a bike. You fall off, you get back up, and you keep doing it again and again and again. With each repetition, with each kick, with each punch, with each speech, with each presentation, you will have a new learning, a new experience to take with you to improve for next time. If you turn making a mistake into a positive and a way for you to become even better, then you are well on your way to becoming a world-class public speaker and presenter. There is without a doubt that even the world-class public speakers make mistakes. The trick is we don't notice that they're making these mistakes, because there are ways to overcome this when on stage. Now, I'd love to let you know how you do that tonight. I can't reveal all on this webinar because we only, as I said, have 1 hour together. And there's a lot more jewels to share with you. Okay, wonderful. So we'll keep cracking. Excellent. So what have we spoken about tonight? We have spoken about the key to public speaking success, the mindset behind public speaking, the model, climbing the ladder, how to become a master. It begins with you, and repetition, repetition, repetition. Wonderful. Now, important part, we've been doing this throughout, but ever had a Seinfeld moment? This picture of Seinfeld, such an iconic show. Who's heard of Seinfeld before? Yeah, lots of yeses. Okay. To me, this picture symbolizes to me someone who's stuck in their head. The best way out of your head is to speak with other people and ask questions. To me, questions equal clarity. So without further ado, I'll say to you, continue to post your questions and I'll answer them as we go or at the end of the webinar. Beautiful. So keep posting away. Excellent. Thank you. Now, who here has enjoyed tonight's webinar? Yeah? Okay, excellent. Excellent. You got some value out of it? Beautiful. Great. You're wanting more? Okay, well, I've got more for you, and I can't wait to share with you this special offer that I have for you tonight. You're going to love what's coming up next. You really are. If you're wanting to speak with confidence and bust your fear, just like this slide says, yeah, and I did my own little funky PowerPointy thing, then you're going to love what I've got coming up. And just in a few weeks as well. You are just in time. So in the next few weeks, we have got a 2-day workshop coming up. Based here in Melbourne, so if you're Melbourne based, this is just for you. This is awesome. Perfect for you. If you're not Melbourne based, do not fret because we are going to be taking these workshops elsewhere. And at the same time, for interstate people, we have you coming down. So this is definitely still for you if you can make your way down to Melbourne. So this 2-day workshop is if you are already presenting and wanting to take your skills and dive down, around and up the rabbit hole to an even deeper level, then this is also the place for you. So what is it that you're going to get from this 2-day workshop? Well, it's going to be action-packed. You're going to have breakthroughs and we have a team waiting to serve you. So we are really, really excited. We've got an awesome location booked. So let's find out about what you're going to learn. What jewels you're going to get on this workshop. You're going to boost your confidence and break that fear of public speaking. You're going to learn advanced speaking techniques that the world's best speakers use. Avoid the biggest mistakes most presenters make. How to connect with your audience within the first 30 seconds. Really, really important. Because if you don't get your audience in the beginning, you're sure not going to get them throughout your presentation or at some point during it. Well, if you do, you're very lucky. How to close a speech with impact. How to connect, interact, and get participation from your audience. Really important. Like on tonight's webinar, need to have you guys involved and interactive because if you're not, you're going to lose focus and momentum. So same applies to your audience all of the time. The secrets to speaking off the cuff and still sounding knowledgeable. How to write and deliver a keynote speech with impact. Do's and don'ts of visual aids, including PowerPoint. So we spoke earlier about PowerPoint being an enhancement and not a crutch. How to recover when you start to lose your audience, because I can guarantee you this happens to the best of public speakers. When, how, and why to use microphones. The psychology blueprint to boosting sales. Learn the art of persuasion and influence. And also a proven format to speak without notes. And this amazing format can be used on any platform from a speech to a blog, a newsletter, an email, and even a post on social media because the same principles apply all of the time, every time. And what I love about this format is that once you start using it again and again with repetition, it then becomes innate in you and you will find yourself using it unconsciously. Exciting. It really is. Who's excited? I am. You are? Beautiful. Love it. Great. And what's even more exciting is that we have an early bird offer. And yet there's more. So have you ever heard the saying that the early bird catches the worm? Well, it's true. It's so true. The early bird does catch the worm, and you're about to catch it. So we have an early bird offer that is that's actually coming to an end tomorrow. So where this where this 2 day workshop is normally 997 for 2 full days, lunch lunch included, morning and afternoon tea included, and all of your resources included. We now have an early bird offer for 497. Yes, you heard it right. 497. What's even more, and I've actually offered it on last week's webinar, and I will offer it on tonight's webinar because I feel like I always want to give you something extra that you're getting for being on tonight's, for being live on a webinar. Is that we are going to, well, we're offering anyone who types in the chat box and says, hell yes, you want tonight's offer, we're going to be giving you the 2 day workshop for a crazy whopping 297. That is 297 for a full 2 days for everything that we just spoke about. It's absolutely amazing. I would take it. But I'm running it, so obviously I can't. But honestly, that's just absolutely amazing value. So please type away, and I can see people typing now. Spaces are limited, so we do only have limited spaces for this workshop coming up, and we're nearly at capacity. The reason why it's limited is because we need to ensure that we have got an intimate group and we're giving you value, and you're getting that time with the trainers, and you are getting the attention that you need and deserve, because we want you walking out of that room that with having all of those things that we said, and busting that fear and speaking with confidence, because your message needs to be heard. So if you're coming to the workshop with 100% commitment, then we're bringing 120%, and vice versa. Awesome. So what's the next step? The next step is over the next, well, until 5 p.m. tomorrow, you're able to click on that link and you are able to register on the early bird price of 497. After tomorrow, it will be going up to 997. So if you are thinking about it, I highly, highly recommend taking advantage of it, because, as I said, well, I think it's a crazy price. So if someone was offering it to me, I would. So have fun, guys, and yeah, click away, and please feel free to share this with anyone that you know. Now, if anyone would like to chat with me about tonight's webinar or the workshop coming up, I would love to hear from you. All you need to do is enter your name and number in the chat box, and I'll give you a call, or we'll make a time to speak. How does that sound? Beautiful. Now, thank you so much for being so interactive and fun to be with tonight. I look forward to hanging out with you all as our journeys continue. Now, please go onto the Facebook page and let people know the value that you got from tonight's webinar, because it's always great to share. And I want to wish you all a great night. Thank you for being here, and I will be speaking with you soon. Take care. Bye for now.